Okay, time for some man time. Ladies, contrary to popular belief, most women are single. Let that sink in. Most women are single, yet there are more sexually active women than virgins. There are sexually active women far greater in scale, more than women who are abstaining from sex. But there are less women in relationships. There are less women in commitment, and there are less women in marriages. There are even less women who stay in marriages after they've gotten married. What I'm saying essentially is most of you have it wrong, because most of you have learned relationship as daughters through bitter mothers. And I don't think most of you will really be able to process that because you don't understand what I mean. So let me see if I can help you understand. Most of your mothers are not generous, were not generous as women to men, as girlfriends to boyfriends, and as wives to husbands, to their husbands, the husbands that they've chosen. This is why you'll find so many women who will tell you how bad that the man is or was after they've broken up, yet they chose to be with that man, which means they did no vetting, which means they weren't giving, they were only receiving. Make that make sense. Make it not make sense. You see, contrary to what most of us are taught, the lack of generosity in a woman is why she does not know how to vet. Because you are not on the giving end, you are only on the receiving end. It is easy to bait you. It is easy to lure you. It is easy to fool you. It is easy to trick you. Because you're looking at what you get as opposed to what you will get. You're looking at what you get as opposed to what you give, which means you're actually running men in the ground. You're turning men against you. You don't know it because you're turning into beggars, not givers, not charitable. Yeah, you all make the mistake of believing that when you get with a man, it is not your job to heal him. It is not your job to raise him. It is not your job to exalt him. It is not your job to build him. That is false. What you're speaking as is a sister. It is not your job to rear and raise and exalt and build your brother. That is your father and mother's job. That is his father and mother's job, not yours. But this is how you're treating and acting with your men. You see, a wife is supposed to be a motivating factor, an inspiration, something that the man can aspire to be better as and for, husband and you. If you are not generous, you are not a giver. You are only a receiver, which makes you a taker, which then means you don't deserve much from the man either way. You see, most of you are trained to be daughters even into adulthood. It's why most of you are single and fucking. I need you to let that seep in a little bit. You're single and fucking with no love. You don't intend to give love. You don't intend to give charity, but you give puss. Which means you yourself thinks or doesn't think that your puss is charitable or good enough. Which means you devalue yourself, even your puss. Because if not, you wouldn't be giving shit niggas your puss. You'd only give people who deserved it your puss. And if you're low caliber, you are selfish, self-centered, greedy, not generous, not kind, but nice. And that's what you're positioning men to do and be for you. So you go from being girlfriends who are getting a lot, and you think that that's going to last in marriage because you don't look for the transition to happen. From daughter to woman. But what do I know? I've only had my share, my fair share of quite a lot of daughters. And I've only had very, very little of my share of a wife. And so does most men that I know. But anywho, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get the conversation started. I like to know how you are different, how your puss and you are somehow higher but your circumstances are not. And until next time, man time out.